Something is different about this situation, but I just can't put my finger on it.
Hello, my geeks and peeps, my explainers and entertainers, my little oodlallies. You like my hair?
I did it for VidCon.
Welcome to episode 3 of Rebecca Explains, or Rebex, as I've been calling it. I really wanted to get a video out to you guys before I head off to VidCon, and none of my animated stuff is anywhere close to being finished before that time, so here we go, another Q&A. Leggins of Miranda says, what's the name of the software and tablets and things you use and how much do they all cost?
Your soul!
A bump to the camera. At the moment, the softwares that I use the most are Photoshop, Flash, Premiere, and a handful of other Adobe products. And what I know for a fact that Adobe is doing is they're doing the Creative Cloud now. Instead of paying an outrageous amount of money for one piece of software or for the entire Creative Suite, you can now pay a monthly fee to get some of their creative software or all of their creative software. Now the hardware I have, well, that's different. What I use is something that's known as a Cintiq. It is basically a computer screen that you can lay flat and draw right on the screen with a special stylus pen. They come in a couple of sizes, and there's even a portable one called the Cintiq Companion.
I got that one too. It's my baby.
And those are gonna cost you anywhere from $2,000 to $2,700. Yeah, that's expensive. But here's the other option. Wacom, the company that makes the Cintiq, also makes the tablet. And that's gonna be a little bit cheaper. I haven't looked up the prices, but I know for a fact it's cheaper. So if I were just starting off drawing in Photoshop or animating in Flash, I would get myself a tablet first. Next question! The Live Indeed On says, are you the annoying orange? Of course. I'm the annoying orange. I thought that was established by now. Some guy named Dane Bodegfleimer Flem Stibdifer has been claiming my work as his own for years. Don't you believe him? It's all me. I play all the characters. Orange, pear, marshmallow, grapefruit. Oh, it's grapefruit. I'm the Tool character. I can't do the voice right now. I had an opera lesson the other day. But yeah, I am the creator and the voice of Annoying Orange.
Disclaimer, Rebecca is not actually the creator of Annoying Orange. Annoying Orange is created by the awesome and talented Danebo.
Strive Veggie Bond says, about animation, what do you know now that you really wish you knew before getting into it? A lot of things. But mostly, how much work it was gonna be. If I'm being completely honest, before I got into Ringling, I was not the hardest working student in class. I really skated by on my ability to do things at the last second. So I was completely caught off guard by how much work it was. So with animation comes a lot of motivation and a lot of self-discipline. Ain't nobody holding your hand in animation. Don't make my mistake. Moving on, Takatunimum says, you mentioned that writing and story is one of the steps in the animation process. Do you need to have a background in animation to get a job in that area, or can you simply be a writer? I'm not too involved in the screenwriting process, I don't know too much about it, but I will say in animation, you kind of have to have some sort of animation background for you to be considered for a screenwriting gig. I'm sure there are exceptions to that, but you also have to remember there are a lot of screenwriters out there, so you're competing with a lot of people if you're just going by a screenwriting basis. But if you're involved in the animation process at a studio, and you happen to also be a really great writer, well, that's your foot in the door. They already know who you are. So overall, I would say that your chances for writing for animation are a lot better if you're actually a part of the animation process. Preferably story. So go practice storyboarding. Moving on, Ryan Bacher says, about how many years do you have to spend in school to get into a top-notch animation studio? Oh boy, this is gonna answer a lot of questions that you guys have been asking. By all technicality, you don't need to go to art school to get into a top-notch studio. Studio recruiters will tell you it's not where you went, it's what you do. To be completely honest, I'm not even sure they really care about the school on your resume. I don't even know if they read the resume half the time. You want to know what they look at? Your portfolio! Your demo reel! And a tiny little bit if anybody else knows you in the studio. Like I said in episode 1, you gotta network. Recruiters are all gonna be different. Some recruiters are going to care about what school you went to because it's kind of like an insurance policy for them. Oh, this person went to Ringling, so they know how to do the 3D process. Ringling always puts out good stuff. This kid probably knows what they're doing. And some of them are not going to care.
Oh, look at this portfolio. It's so good. It doesn't matter that this person didn't go to art school.
I wasn't making fun of that type of recruiter.
I just really like that voice.
And as far as how many years you have to spend in school, that really depends on the school that you're going to. If you go to a trade school like Full Sail, it's about 2 years. Ringling and a lot of other schools are a 4-year program. And then there are some weird schools that make their animation program a graduate program. All in all, just research the school, figure out what their timeline is. Meh Kiho Ward says, I want to work for Cartoon Network, but my art style is anime. Will I be hired? Oh, I'm gonna crush so many dreams by answering this question. If all you do is anime, then you're probably not going to be hired by Cartoon Network. To make it in the American animation industry, you have got to be flexible. You gotta be able to draw every style under the sun. You gotta draw realistic, you gotta draw like the Looney Tunes, you gotta draw like Disney, you gotta draw simplified like current Cartoon Network shows. And if the only style of art that you can perform in is a style that's not even popular here in America, then you're not gonna get a job. I'm sorry, that's the sad, hard truth of it. In fact, a lot of schools who require a portfolio to get into the animation program, they'll say, no anime. Because anime is just super popular among young artists right now, and you gotta prove that you can do more. It would kind of be like me wanting to be a character designer over at Disney when the only animation style I can do is Butch Hartman. It doesn't make sense, and I'm not gonna get the job, and the recruiter's gonna go for the next 50 people who can do every art style under the sun. I'm really sorry to disappoint you, but if you really want to be a part of the animation industry, you have to push your own creative boundaries and do something other than anime. Next question! Mihu Kor says, I'm curious, which animated movie is your favorite?
Did you just seriously ask me that?
No, Wreck-It Ralph. No, How to Train Your Dragon. Oh my gosh, but The Secret of Nim, it's so gorgeous and so beautiful. Oh my gosh, Prince of Egypt. It's a masterpiece. And I know nobody else likes it, but I really love Monsters U. What was that? Alright. Get your life back together. Alright, explainers and entertainers, that is really all I can do for right now. It is late at night and I still have so much to do in preparation for VidCon, so go ahead and ask me more questions in the comment section below. And don't forget, you can also ask me on Twitter or Instagram. You can ask me about animation, you can ask me about drawing, you can ask me about my shoe size. Not really sure why you'd want to know that. And if you're going to be at VidCon and you want to say hello, shake my hand, give me a high five, scream at me from across the convention center, then let me know. I want to scream right back at you. I'm good at screaming. I got that opera sound. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in, but now I gotta tune out. Bye!